My vagina turned a man gay. I'm Michaela,
I'm Atticus.
and we're the hosts of the Lavender Lounge.
I feel like it's an unspoken rule that you shouldn't really wear a red hat anymore. We are recording.
Have you ever wondered where the little queer boy went that danced with Lady Gaga? 12 years later, you finally have your answers. Today, I'm joined with my bestie, who just so happens to be that little queer boy who danced with Lady Gaga. How you doing today, Atticus?
Wonderful. I should have worn my orange jacket, but sadly it's packed away. I do still have it though. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm the kid in the orange jacket. Which actually, I know we're going to talk about a lot of the story, and you've got questions that people submitted online. But I will start by saying kid in the orange. I want to clear up the very first thing off the bat, the controversy. While she said kid, we're not that far apart in age. We're 6 years. So as we've seen comments online, and I've had people ask in the past, or I see people being like, oh my God, she's kissing a child, she's kissing a minor. I was not a minor. I was about to be 22 years old. Adult. Legal adult. Just to clear that one up.
Now that we nipped that one in the bud, that was a popular one too. On TikTok, you guys submitted some of your questions, and we're going to go through some of the most popular. It's pretty intense, so we're going to try and get through as many as we possibly can.
I do want to say, I have not really talked about this very much, and especially not officially. Yeah, if someone asked me a question about the story, I obviously tell it, but I have never really sat down and talked about this. So a lot of people wanted to hear some answers, so let's do it.
Yeah, let's give some answers. So some of the most common questions. Here we go. The first one. What happened after Lady Gaga took you backstage?
So in the video, she took me back into her castle that was the stage, and I will say it went by so fast. It was like a whirlwind. Concerts, the real work is backstage. So when I got back there, you saw dancers running and changing. You saw security people helping people walk in the dark. It was so fast paced, and Gaga took me to her security guy that I think he's been with her since the start of it all, which is crazy. And she said, I want to see him backstage after the show, so give him a wristband. Then they kept me, because I think I saw this question too. Did I go back out into the crowd? And the answer is no, I didn't, which was crazy because I came with two friends and had no way to really communicate with them and let them know what was happening. And so I stayed in the back right of the stage, because at that point she only had the encore left. So she only had two songs left. So they kept me on that side. And then I guess we'll get to it, but she took me backstage.
Did she talk to you backstage? What'd she say to you after?
She did. There were a few other people that were back there. During this tour, she had multiple moments where she would pull people on stage, not at the capacity that happened to me, but she had a piano set that she would pull 5 or 6 people up. It was kind of this was the era of her fans. It was, she's not that she's not now, but she was so connected with them then. So there were those kids. And then they took me to go meet her choreographer at the time, and the dancers. And the dancers are the people I really connected with the most. I still talk to a few to this day. Sometimes we just check in on each other. And then after that, they brought me back to her, and it was it was her loungy backstage, big couch area. She ran up and she's like, oh my God, you're so fab. I wish I could remember
exactly what
we
said.
Talked about. She really talked about how impressive it was. And I think the importance in that is she, that could have been what a cute moment. What a cute thing this fan of mine did. But it didn't come across that way. She was fucking talented, and I see you. And it was very cool. That was very cool. So we chatted for a little bit. I got a picture backstage. I know people have been trying to put a face to the name. I can show it real fast. So this happened backstage. Super cute. There we go. Cuties. I was 21 years old.
She looks so good.
She had her bubblegum hair. So yeah, we definitely, that was backstage in the backstage area.
Cool. Okay. So the next question is, and I think you can speak to this, did you ever hang out with her?
Not in the way people would think, we're always let's hang out now. The only time I would say that would ever be classified as that is actually November of that year is when she released her next album, Art Pop. And also still very in that connective fan way. She had an album release party in New York City, and I went to that. And at the very, like, it's so much partying, just like party. And at the very end, people are clearing out because you had to take a boat to get there. And people are like clearing out. And there had to have been maybe 20 people left towards the very end. And she had come out because the way it was set up is she performed because she was dropping her album that night. And there was like a lower downstairs and an upper area, lounge area. And that upper lounge area had like other celebrities. So that's where she like hung out most of the night. And so at the very end, she'd come down and there was maybe 20 of us left. And we probably sat with her for about 30 minutes and we all chatted with her. That's close to like hanging out, I think, as I want to claim. Because it's not like we call each other and watch football games together. Football!
Her favorite sport. Favorite sport. Okay, so there were a lot of questions about the choreography. So the most common question asked about the choreography was, how did you learn the choreography so well?
Well, thank you for saying I learned it well. Sometimes and I'm sure this is a question too about if I was a plant or not. We can cover that later. But if I had more time, I feel like I could have looked a lot better. But at the time, I mean, I'd always loved dancing and I was taking dance classes in Austin, Texas, and had the most incredible dance teacher, Frances. I wish I could just like let her know how wonderful she is. But I remember me and my friends who went to the show made a pact not to watch any of the clips. At the time, Tumblr was still, like, don't go on Tumblr and watch anything from the show because we know Gaga's theatrical. We know she's like going to put a show on. She has like gone broke putting her money back into her shows. So we hadn't, but I kept seeing on Tumblr how the dance to Shiza was just unreal. And so like by myself was like, I'll just check out the one video, which I only did. That was the only one I did. I didn't look at any of the rest of the show, but I mean, I think as people know, it's like a pretty cool dance. And so I spent a lot of time back, rewind on YouTube, and I learned it in my room in the undies. No kind of training done.
Look at that. You heard it here first. And how long did it take you to learn that dance?
I wish I could remember.
Well, obviously in the time she was touring, because you saw
for sure.
her tour video.
I want to say like within 1 week, but that also could seem really fast for what actually happened. But I want to say, I mean, it wasn't that long beforehand because I did hold out as long as I could to not watch anything from the show. So yeah, I'll say a week. I think that's what it took me, was a week.
Okay. Now, can you still do the dance?
If you gave me like 5 minutes to, yes, I could. But I had to like,
if we gave you time to kind of like
just like 5 minutes to like
it?
really think about where it all happens. Yeah, that's going to be burned in my memory for fucking ever. I can guarantee that.
Yeah. And people, that is, I mean, it's burned in my memory and I wasn't even there. So did you practice while waiting in line for the concert?
No practice. Because it just wasn't like
you didn't know you were going to be put on stage. It's like, what were you practicing for?
I didn't know I was going to be put on stage, and we'll get to, that in a second. But I will say at the time, because she was so looking at her fans, like if you could do something unique or if you could do something to catch her attention, the odds of her pulling you on that stage for like that piano set and stuff. So I had learned it for the purpose of her seeing, but it wasn't something where I'm like, this is my purpose of being here tonight.
Yeah, is to get pulled on stage. Do people ever recognize you on the street?
No. And actually the really fun part is that I can't tell you that I don't look like I used to. That's so hard for me to, I don't know when people change with their age. But one of my favorite things is like when I've gotten new jobs or met new people, when it finally comes out somehow, their mind is like blown that they've seen the video but did not know it was me. So it's like, there's way more of that. Where it's like, I've been friends with someone for years and they had seen the video and just did not think it was me. Maybe, I don't know. My name was never said, but I know I have been newly in 2024. This is how I knew I made it. I was a Halloween costume.
Were you really?
But nobody's like recognized me on the street. No.
Like walking on the street. People asked, did you pursue a professional dance career after that moment?
I wanted to. So at the time I was in photography school and this happened, and I had to go to school the next day. All three of us, me and my friends did. And by the next morning, I was like, well, I have to drop out of college and focus on this. And I called my parents. I was like, I'm dropping out of college. I have to take this opportunity. I did go to like these dance class sessions with her choreographer and her dancers put on. And I did really buckle down with Francis at that dance studio. And at the time, let me tell you, like, I broke making like $8 an hour at the place I worked at. I could not afford dance classes. I worked their front desk. I like filed some papers. I cleaned it. And she just bartered my dance classes for me, and which is insane, which is super wonderful. But what was the question?
Gaga did?
No. The Francis, the teacher. Yeah.
The teacher, sorry. The question was, did you pursue a dance career after?
Right. I really wanted to, but I didn't want to for the right reason. It's not that I was like, dance is my passion. I am a concert junkie, which has brought me to my career today. And like, how can I be part of the concert world? So I thought this was a really good end for that, which would have been the wrong reasons for me to like really scrap everything for dance, because it's like, it wasn't the dancing. And I have had that for photography. And so for those who don't know, like now I do concert and tour photography. So I got to get into that concert world, but I did it like with something that I was ready to really nail.
Put your all in.
Mm.
Who were you with and what were they thinking?
So I was with, I'm assuming it's all right to say their names, my friend Jessica and my friend Lindley, both friends from high school, even though we were adults. And you can only imagine what they were like. I will try and find the video that my friend Jessica took, where you can't even hear the song because she's just like screaming her head off. I mean, this was like a what the fuck moment for all three of us. Just insanity.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, just imagine you go to a concert. Like, that's everyone's dream, going to a concert, is to be pulled on stage by any artist. Like,
I forget that like Courtney Cox made it that way. Right.
Did she really?
Yeah, I think that's how Courtney Cox was famous.
And I know Pamela Anderson, she didn't
wrong.
get pulled on stage, but she got put on a Jumbotron too.
Winner, chicken dinner.
How did it feel to be on stage with Lady Gaga?
It is so much easier to be on a stage in front of tens of thousands of people than in front of like 50 people. It is lights only in your eyes. You really don't see anyone. You hear them. And I'm in this weird state of, I blacked out, but also I remember everything. But I was like on such a tunnel vision. I remember thinking things like how shallow the stairs on the stage were, which I'm like, why am I thinking about that? Or like the material of her stage. It was a castle at the time. Like when I was dancing around, that's the kind of thing I was thinking about. And I was thinking like, wow, this stage feels really sturdy. I don't know. It was just so funny. So weird. But it was like a blackout version because all I knew was to focus on the dance. Something that I think people don't think about is when you learn to dance like in your room or on YouTube, you are learning just the choreography. Actually, just the dance is what I'll say. You're not learning the choreography, because choreography is like how you walk and do it, which direction, where up on stage, downstage are you at? Like that part, I had no idea. So that's why there are some times where like we'll be going in a direction and they'll like turn. And like I knew the dance move, but I didn't know it was going to be a turn. So that's why there's certain moments where it's like, it looks like I'm like, because it's like I had no idea what that looked like.
Yeah, you just didn't know that was going to happen.
Right. So I was just really focused, I think, doing what I remembered while being conscious enough to like following the directions. And then once it all stopped up and we were up the front of the stage, people were throwing stuff and because that was a whole nother kind of blackout.
Yeah, I think I would black out too. And we can get to some funnier questions. There are some not so serious ones, but people ask, do you know that everyone feels a sort of obligation to stop and watch that video anytime it's on their feed? Do you know that?
No, I don't know that, because I think some people I met who knew me a few years ago after this happened, though, I've seen it be very much like, I'm so overseeing this, which is funny, and that's fine. I'm not going to say names, but it's fine. It makes sense. But I've gotten thousands of really sweet messages about it. And, I think it's odd to feel like, well, I didn't know that this video could make someone feel a certain way. It could be like a wonderful euphoric feeling. And I scroll on TikTok and feel that experience 10 times a night. But to see what people are like responding to on it has really been wonderful. And so I didn't know that it wasn't like a obligated stop and watch.
Like a people stop and watch. How does it feel to be so iconic?
I mean, I will say this. I feel known in the queer community, which is pretty cool. But again, at the same time, like people don't know it's me. So I get to kind of experience this one way. Like I've watched people watch it and they have no idea I'm like right there. My friends of 30 years were in a trainer session at a gym one time, and their gym trainer was like showing it to one of their other gym trainers. Like, that's crazy to
Oh my God, that's
experience it
crazy.
in the wild. What's wild is it has been 12 years, and it makes sense, sure, if it comes up on your feed every so often. Like, that's what it felt like to me. It's every year at some point, I get like this influx of followers, I get messages. So I know it resurfaces every so often, but it's been more often lately, and it's been more often than you would think. And so it is kind of crazy to think that I feel a part of like a viral culture. And I've never had a viral video before. So it's like, maybe it's just like how everyone else feels on TikTok, but like, I do feel like this was something that was a bit different.
Yeah.
And TikTok was not around 12 years ago.
And people want to know, how'd you feel up there? Were you nervous, focused, out of body? You talked about it a little bit, but.
Yeah, definitely out of body. Definitely out of body. And focused, both. It was weird. It was like I was focused, but not in control. I don't know. Or maybe I was.
Yeah.
It was crazy, though.
Okay. Yeah, no, seriously. Most of these we've already talked about, but there's 3 big ones that people really want to know. The first one was, how was it to kiss Lady Gaga?
Crazy. At the time, 21 years old, I remember having, you're out fresh out of high school and stuff, and not fresh, but out of high school. And I remember all my friends and I like had like kiss lists, like who have you drunkenly kissed, or who have you, because at that point, maybe there wasn't as many people as by the time you're 30. No shame if there is, but it was really fucking crazy to sit down the next day and my friends like made it this whole like, and they like wrote her name in there. It's like, it is kind of crazy to think that like she is in my list of people that I have like kissed as a human being. That's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. And she's a beautiful woman. So, I mean, that's
a
fantastic one.
It definitely shocked me. I'm sure people can see from my face in the video when she does it, I'd look totally
Yeah, you do
surprised.
look a little like nervous. Do you have the kiss picture?
No, but I can find it.
It's crazy that I'm saving this picture as Lady Gaga kissing Atticus.
You're telling me.
Oh, period. This is the only one I could find, but that is Atticus kissing Lady Gaga. And you literally look.
We Frenched.
Did you really? Was there tongue used?
No, there was no tongue.
Okay. But you do look nervous. Like, look at your hand down there. That's hilarious. Okay, we're going to stop sharing. Okay, the next question is, what does Lady Gaga smell like?
A little bit of sweat and sex.
I love that. She looks like she'd be a woman who smells like sweat and sex.
Yeah. I don't even know if at the time she had released her perfume, she had said she wanted it to smell like sweat and sex. I mean, I think it has to be a whole vibe she's got going on.
The whole thing. It's on brand. It's very on brand for Lady Gaga to smell like sweat and sex.
I just smelled like sweat.
Not sex. The biggest question. People want to know, were you a plant? Was it planned? Was it a surprise? What is the tea there? Because people seem to think that this was fake.
Was it fake? It was not fake. And I've seen so many things like someone had commented on one of the YouTube videos and was like, yeah, that I was trained beforehand, or one of her dancers she planted. I will revisit one of our first questions, which was my response being that if I was a trained dancer, if I was her dancer, it would have looked so much better. Like, I'm not even trying to shit on me. I'm just saying, like, I looked like a person who was trying to do the dance.
Yeah.
No, this is 1000% has blown my world out of proportion. Like, this is as crazy to me as it was to everybody else who's watched it. Like, I came home and I mean, everything was different after that. I mean, basically my Facebook was broken. And at first I thought, okay, sure. It was not even 12 hours later, my Facebook blowing up by like high school people. But also it was released and watched that soon. I had like 7,000 friend requests on Facebook. I'm like, how did people even know who I was? Even at that point, how did you know my name? Because it's not like these years people have found me and you'll see them tag like my Instagram or whatever. This was like fresh baby bucket. Like, how did you even know who I was? But no, this is still insanity to me. When I see the video, and I will admit, I do not watch it very often. I don't know. I'm so grateful for it. But, it's hard to watch yourself. But when I do like get a good watch of it, I'm like, holy balls! Like that happened to me. Like that is it. So yeah, totally not planted. You would have known if it was a real professional dancer because it would have looked better. I wouldn't have looked so, the whole time.
Wouldn't looked as
Yeah,
shocked and nervous. Not even that you
yeah,
look nervous, but like
yeah.
shocked.
I
Like
was
you're like,
shocked.
holy shit, this is fucking happening to me right now. Like I'm on stage with Lady fucking Gaga. That's iconic.
I've seen that question for all 12 years.
What is your favorite thing about Lady Gaga that most people might not know?
I actually do have two answers. One's kind of like a little
Okay.
cheeky because it's like I didn't, as you maybe saw in the picture from earlier, did not know she was that small. I mean, I knew she was small, and but this was before 5'2" came out, and like we knew she was a small person, but like totally shocked me. Did not know. But the thing that like really resonated with me the most was I think really big fans of hers would know this. So I'm saying this for like the public masses. I think is human connection. Which you don't really see from that direction, come from that direction of the fan-celebrity relationship. Because I tell people all the time, like, if she were to be coming to her hotel and you're like waiting outside the hotel, I swear to you that if you were to ask her like how she is doing, she will stop and talk to you much quicker than if you pull out a phone and ask for a picture, which she still does that. But you can see like the enthusiasm and the joy on her face, which is really interesting. Yeah. I mean, not interesting. It's wonderful. We want to think that people don't lose that when they get famous, and it definitely didn't happen with her. I guarantee anyone could ask like how she is genuinely doing, and she will talk.
Yeah, so that's so nice.
Let's switch over to you for a second. Let's let the people get to know you. You are a TikTok star.
I don't know if I'd consider it a TikTok star because I have like viral moments where a video of mine will go really viral. Like right now, I have one about La Coquina. Okay. And it's at like 40 million views.
Jeez.
Which is kind of crazy. It's at like 4.5 to 5 million likes, which is insane. But every time you have a video that goes viral like that, and I've had a couple, you get an influx of followers and like engagement. So obviously you want to capitalize on it if that's something that you want to take long term. But I mean, I've always had ebbs and flows. Like I have gone really viral for like 1 or 2 weeks and then everything drops off and there's like 400, 200 views on my page. But it's just, I think it's so much fun to make TikTok videos. Like I don't make any money off of them. I've never been reached out to by brands or any of that, but which would be totally cool. But also that's not exactly why I do it. Like I just kind of say the thought that comes into my head. But yeah, and so I'm here and I just say my thoughts.
One of my favorite things about you, if I may.
Please enlighten me.
You love the hate comments.
I do. I love hate comments. They're my favorite.
Can you bring up some of your hate comments? I think it would be a great thing to share. Since everyone loved my video, no one had anything bad to say. Just kidding. I was called fat so many times. That's fine though.
Haters gonna hate.
Literally.
Fucking anything. I'll go through some of them.
Okay, wait. Tell me why I thought I was this iconic that when I Googled just kid in the orange jacket, I would come up.
When Google humbles you.
I'm deeply humbled.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm not even like close to the first search.
Your SOE is shit, my guy. Here's one that I got that said, when I announced that I was going to interview you for a podcast, some woman was like, my God, please stop with the podcast. Oh, I told her to block me. Let's see what some other hate comments I've gotten. Well, I've been called fat several times. Fat and ugly. It's like the only thing their vernacular allows them to speak on is fat and ugly. I've gotten, all right, let's see this warlock body of yours.
God.
Some of them are funny. And like, if it is a good insult, I will give credit where credit's due. But notice how you haven't seen a single video where I'm giving a hater credit, because it's like, come up with a funnier roast, truly. There was one that was like, men's standard nowadays are through the roof, but they spelled through very wrong. There's not even an H in it. It's truff, actually, truff. TROUGH, truff. Yeah, there's so many. Like most of the comments on my videos get filtered by TikTok. Like I don't even do it. It does it automatically. And then I get a little notification that's like, you should be aware that we've put cyberbullying protections on your comment section. Like that's how you know it's bad. And when the bitches are actually...
Wait, I just Googled myself and this is what AI said. The phrase "Shiza Kid in the Orange" likely refers to a fan, possibly a young fan, who went on stage during the performance of Shiza, which translates to shit in German, with a fan wearing orange.
Wow. Wow. You made it to the AI search box on Google.
Yeah, I did.
That's incredible.
I'm just going to try and find some hate comments.
Another funny story about the Lady Gaga incident. We've known each other since 2021, 5 years almost. We go on a family vacation every year to Iceland. That's our family vacation spot. And by family vacation, I hitched myself to their family vacation, me and the gays, and we go to Iceland. And when we were there, we met this lovely lesbian woman. I'm not going to say her name. And was discussing with this friend the moment with Lady Gaga. And that is when I realized that it was more than just a picture with Lady Gaga. It was an entire moment where he danced on stage. And 4 years into our friendship, I found out what he actually did with Lady Gaga. And I was like, holy shit, that's pretty fucking cool. And this past year in August, if you don't know, Iceland's Pride happens every August. It's one of the biggest celebrations there. Literally, shout out the gays, shout out the queers, shout out the alphabet mafia. We are here, we are allies, and we love you. Even though this administration is trying to erase the alphabet mafia, you are not erased in my eyes.
Back it up.
What?
Because that's going to be a whole another hour conversation. State of the country.
Okay, back it up. Well, okay. Anyways, we'll backtrack. We're at a bar called Jungle in Reykjavik. If you ever go to Reykjavik, you need to go to Jungle and you need to see David. Okay?
Daniel.
David is the bartender. Okay, let's do it this one more time. I was taking a risk, and
And you failed. You failed miserably.
I failed. If you're ever in Reykjavik, you need to go to Jungle and you need to see Daniel. He is the bartender there. He's fabulous. And he will make you one hell of a cocktail.
Well, this person comments, this guy forever has the best fun fact icebreaker. It is a good one. Do I use it? No, I should, though.
You should use that, actually. 2 truths and a lie.
What are your 2 truths and a lie?
2 truths and
Let's play
truths
this
and a lie.
for the people.
Okay. Two truths and a... Okay, well, you're going to know all of mine. 2 truths
That's
and
fine.
a lie.
It's for the people.
I slept with a gay man. Actually, let's redo this. 2 truths and a lie. My vagina turned a man gay.
Well, now they know it's true because you did 2 different ways of saying it.
Well, have you ever heard of the fucking editing software, dumb fuck?
Right.
I actually probably should think about these before.
You only had the one truth.
Yeah. My vagina turned a man gay. I shit on the side of a highway in Thailand, and I have 7 siblings.
Dang. Let me try and match you real quick. We'll let the people vote. I'm 1 out of 11 siblings. I danced on stage with Lady Gaga. I was sued for $1.something million because a bicyclist ran into me. And the last one is, I should probably not do something with the law. I was about to do 2 once. Well,
as you can tell, we're really prepared for this segment of the podcast.
I think I might have written it down in my notes.
If we have kept you engaged this long, we are going to be giving you what... Okay, that's fine. We can scratch this whole segment, if I'm being honest, okay? Apologies for my friend. He doesn't normally get out of the house. Anyways, now that we've given you what you want with the Lady Gaga, we're going to move into different segments because there were some questions about how you got into the world of concert photography. So I think that would be a great section for people to learn about, kind of what was it like to get into the world of concert photography, and how can someone who's starting from nothing, what tips can you give to them?
How did I get into concert photography? How does someone get in there? I will start with a disclaimer of it's a really shitty attitude that a lot of photographers have in the concert world. It saddens me to say there's a lot of gatekeeping. It's like, if you can do it, then I can't, which is not the case. If someone beats me to a badge, they've earned it, you know? I was in photography school and this Gaga thing happened, but me getting into concert photography happened after this because, like I had mentioned, I wanted to be in the concert world. I don't think dancing was the right path, as much as I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to do photography for concerts, and here's my advice for people. Always ask. The worst you can get is a no. I will say you're not trying to DM the artist. Most cases are not that way. It's not trying to contact the artist. It's not trying to contact even sometimes their manager.
Mm-hmm.
People think that's maybe who could give you the go ahead. you need to be locating who like the PR and the publicist is for that label and whoever represents the artist. There are websites that provide this kind of thing. So you can see like who is what member of, a team. And like any art, you're starting pro bono. Like I did so much for free to build my resume, because then at some point you turn into this person who's like, I'll do this for free, to I've worked with these people. And that just starts to lay the groundwork of like how you can do it as a job. So I went to anywhere that had easy ways for festivals. So like, for example, in Austin, Texas, we have South by Southwest. Is not known for having huge name people. They're known for like local bands or like, these unknown to come and share their music. That's what you need to start with. And because a lot of those, I mean, they can't pay. You can't get in. Like that's the way to start. And I won't say that this Gaga thing didn't help in my connections. It absolutely did. But I think it only went so far, because now it's, I don't use that. I use my portfolio. But I would say the key thing is to like reach out to PR and publicists under the label. So now I get to do it for my favorite artists. So I still do some pro bono sometimes. Like I'm always trying to get my work first. But if it's like someone I really love and they can't accommodate, and if they don't pick you, that doesn't mean that they don't like your work. It can be like house rules, like the venues rules. It could be like other publications have deals with people. It could be so many different things as to why you were denied. But I always suggest, like, if they deny, if you say if it's an issue of budget or anything, I would be happy to do this pro bono, because I would absolutely shoot my favorite artists for free. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing lately. Just a lot of concerts.
So have you photographed Lady Gaga?
Have I photographed her? No, I haven't. I would love to.
Is she on your list?
She's on my list.
Who's your favorite artist you've?
Churches, by far. Churches is one of my favorite bands to begin with, but I photographed 3 of their tours. Their lead singer Lauren just did her own solo album, her own solo tour. I just worked on her show. I also toured with Aaron Carter, who for me was a childhood star. Like I knew Aaron Carter his whole life, and he knew me only towards the end. When I got in with him, there was like a 2000s festival where it was like O-Town and Ryan Cabrera and all these people that were like from that era. And Aaron was one of them. And so I reached out to someone on his team. So I photographed him at this festival, but that's how he got me in with him. Because then he was like, I've got another show tomorrow. And then I have another one after that. So I started going to these different shows. And, it doesn't always happen this way. I'm not friends with all the people I work with. Trust me. I just don't have a big group of celebrity friends. That's not what to get here. But he and I got to know each other, and it was really crazy. So, I mean, that one's probably one of my favorites too, because I got to know him totally outside of
as a person.
And it was weird though, because he'd be asking about me and my life, and then he would tell me about him and his, and I'd be like, oh, I know. I watched it happen.
Who's your biggest fan?
Right.
Also,
no, my boss and I have been super into the reincarnation stuff, and she just sent me a picture that said, how to make sure you never get reincarnated on planet Earth ever again. Please, I cannot do this again.
Oh my God. Literally.
I want to know.
Okay, pause, because we're both eating. Just don't even discuss it. And I need a little snack. Hang on.
Okay. We're going to do a little fun rapid fire. A or nay. I want to hear yes or not on these top conspiracies. Do you believe in it or not?
Okay.
Number 1.
Hit me.
The moon landing was fake.
Nah. Do I believe in it? Wait, is it yes, I believe in it, or nah? No, I don't. I believe the moon landing happened.
The government killed JFK.
Yes, I believe that.
Number 3, COVID-19 was engineered by the media.
No. COVID-19 was real. Millions of people died.
Earth has been sucked into a black hole.
My answer to that is, why the fuck would I care? How does it change my life? Suck me into a black hole, suck me not.
Suck me any way you want. I'm going to get rid of the numbers. Next one.
Okay.
This one I've never heard. The Denver International Airport is the Illuminati's headquarters.
I have heard this one. No, this is a real conspiracy, and I actually think I believe this one. This one is actually crazy. There's tunnels underneath it, and it's, yeah. Okay. I don't know too much about that one.
Believing in secret tunnels and lizard layers underneath the building.
Yes. I don't know
Wow.
about the lizards, but I definitely believe there's got to be there's weird shit happening in Denver airport.
Okay. The next one is the Earth is actually hollow.
Here's the thing.
Oh, wait. Because the next one is also the world is flat. Yay or nay to either one.
I don't fucking believe the world is flat. No. I've been in a fucking airplane. I can see the fucking horizon. People who think the Earth is flat need to check themselves into a mental institute. Yeah.
Right next to you.
And maybe I should be in the room next to them in the straitjacket. Anyways, no, I don't believe that the Earth is hollow, but I weirdly believe that if you go deep enough into the ocean, you end up in outer space. Like, I feel like they're weirdly like butthole connected, you know? Because we've explored more of space than we have our own oceans. I wholeheartedly believe that there is like black holes at the bottom of the ocean that goes into space. So I guess theoretically or along those lines, yeah, like the Earth is hollow, but I don't think it's in the way that's in like Godzilla or anything.
Right. So let's throw back to the friend that we met in Iceland. She asked me, are you more afraid of the ocean or space?
Genuinely?
No. Ingenuous, please.
Fuck off. I think I'm more afraid of space simply because it's just like you just float out into nothing. Like,
Yeah, I think that's what she said too.
the ending scene in Gravity where the beautiful George Clooney floats off to his death in space. I have thought about that and felt the emotions of his as if it's actually happening to me.
Okay, well, let me say this because I think she said space too. Here's why I choose the ocean.
Okay, got to be different.
I have a reason though. I can't accidentally fall into space.
You don't know that.
As of now, I can't. You get on a cruise ship, you could fall in there, and then that's it.
True. No, that is true. That is a valid fear.
Is space crazier to think about? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it scarier to me? No, because I can't accidentally get there.
No, 100%. I get that. That makes total sense. I think I'm honestly, if I had to really give an answer, I think I'd be equally afraid of both. But like, also, that's not my biggest fear. My biggest fear is death. You know this. We've talked about this. My
Right.
biggest fear is death.
We have very different views on that. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
They say that if you're really afraid of death, it's because you actually I forgot what they say. Okay, next.
I think we broke them. Why don't you just fucking Google it? You have the whole fucking internet.
Bigfoot.
Okay, I think it would be real, but not in the way that it's like this big monster that's conscious. I think it's just like a woolly mammoth that we haven't really like. I think it's just a big fucking animal that we haven't discovered yet. You know?
Sure. The Nazis have a secret base in Antarctica.
Yeah, and fuck Nazis. Fuck Nazis.
Let's move on.
Nazis have a secret bunker.
We're all living in the Matrix.
Fuck this conspiracy, because what do you want me to do about it? Seriously, actually, this conspiracy pisses me off because what do you want me to do about it? This is my reality. This is what I'm living. I die and when I wake up and I'm hooked up to a fucking machine. Why the fuck do I care? I lived a whole goddamn life. And if it is true, whoever is controlling my fucking avatar needs to give me a fatter paycheck and a fatter ass. There's no way I'm living in a made-up society and I have a square ass with a muffin top. Thank you. I will be here all day.
Okay, I get that. A little caveat here. If you die in the Matrix, you die in real life. So, or is it if you die in real life, you die in the Matrix? No, I think you die. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Is real life the Matrix or is the Matrix the Matrix?
The Matrix is the Matrix.
So
Okay,
theoretically,
next
in
one.
this
This one
wouldn't
feels a
be
little
real.
weird, but I think it's answered by
He's
your...
silencing women.
This one goes along with the landing. This one says the moon isn't real, which I look up every night and I see it.
Yeah, and like the waves and my menstrual cycle are all tied to the moon. What are you talking about?
The Titanic didn't actually sink. And I'm saying the Titanic, not the Titan.
Oh, no, the Titanic sinking is real. Like, that's a real fucking thing. That really happened.
Oh, this one's interesting. Bill Gates is making fake snow.
Okay, I'm going to need some sort of elaboration on that one. Like fake snow in that Disney movie where she has that wish machine
I don't know,
You
but
know what
this
I'm talking
says
about? Have you seen?
in the United States in 2021, TikTokers stoked the fires on a Bill Gates conspiracy theory that he was creating fake snow that burns instead of melts.
That's fucking stupid because how many times in the news have we heard of a blizzard tundra area being caught on wildfire?
Here's a weird one. Amelia Earhart was eaten by crabs.
I mean, I believe it. Have you fucking seen beaches with hundreds of thousands of crabs on them? Like, they could definitely eat someone.
I mean, they think that she landed on a deserted island that was eaten by a 3-foot long coconut crab.
I wouldn't rule it out. I think the most logical answer is that she crashed in the ocean.
Right. Here we go. Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster, is in Scotland.
Real.
Yeah,
Real.
Yeah, agreed.
But again, like Bigfoot, I don't think it's what we think it is.
Right. It's not a nice, big, bright green.
Yeah, there's something up in there, but I don't think it's like this mystical. I mean, it could be. Fingers crossed. That'd be cool.
Here's one. A solar flare is what caused the Titanic to sink.
It was an iceberg. What website are you getting this off of? Did a 14-year-old write this?
Sirens. They're responsible for shipwrecks and the death of sailors.
Oh, I hope they're real.
Yeah, same. That would be
But
dope.
in reality, I think it was like a manatee. But again, the CIA has talked about how aliens are real. And yeah, we haven't discovered most of the ocean. So like there could be a chance that sirens exist. And honestly, that is the ultimate form of feminism, because what do you mean you only go after men? Because only men would be stupid enough to take advantage of a siren. I would give that queen whatever fish she desired. What would you like? Whose soul would you like first? I've got 3 people in mind off the top of my head.
Here's another weird one, or not weird, but cringe one. The COVID-19 put a 5G chip inside of you. Aren't chips solid?
And here's the thing. Again, what the fuck am I going to do if they did? Like, I'm still living the same life I lived before. My life hasn't radically changed. And so what if they're taking my fucking brain data? I don't give a shit.
Here's the thing. These conspiracies start to sound like news headlines. Airplane exhaust trails are filled with chemicals. I mean, I have to think, yeah, because it's like gas, right?
Are they just, yeah. Like, airplanes pollute the earth because of the exhaust.
Again, title. Internet routers can lead to harmful 5G radiation.
Okay, I think we're just getting into actual headlines.
Okay, here we go. Some more. Taylor Swift is working for the NFL.
And so what if she is?
Oh, here's a good one. I really love this one. Avril Lavigne has died and is being impersonated by
No.
that Melissa girl. You don't, yeah?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's real. That to take over someone's identity like that is incredible. Like that, the government would have had to been involved. You know, like That's crazy.
Do you believe that Beyonce and Jay-Z are the Illuminati leaders?
No, but they're doing something.
Sure, but
something's going on with them.
I mean, Illuminati's been around forever. Like, they're not the leaders.
Yeah, but they're icons. Like Beyonce is an icon.
Yeah, that's not a mistake. Yeah.
And she's doing something. You know, she is doing something.
Maybe I shouldn't do this one.
Do it.
Okay. The Holocaust was not real.
Yeah, don't do that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually, no. Do we want to talk about politics on this?
We will. Why, you want to go there?
I mean, we might as well go there. Do you not want to go there?
Take it home.
Okay. The Holocaust did happen, and I don't know why we've moved as a society to where anything pro-Nazi is okay, which is crazy. Like, we can't even admit that Elon Musk did the Nazi salute. It's like, how must Jewish people feel right now? And yeah, that's just crazy. No, the Holocaust was very much real. Very much real. Now we can move on. Here, if anyone wanted to know, here's a rock from our trip to Iceland. Volcanic.
We got that from the Black Sand Beach over by Vik. One of the deadliest beaches in the world. Beautiful.
It is very terrifying, though.
But the waves do not look like that in person. They look like they are taller than you. They're insane. They're huge. I've never seen waves that big.
They look fake.
It's kind of crazy.
Should we talk about Iceland? I mean, that's one of
Yeah.
our favorite places. We can talk about our vacationing in Iceland.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but we're national celebrities in Iceland. We
They
met
know
the
us.
president.
Yeah, that's right.
They know us.
For those who don't know, Iceland has 400,000 people. Not even. about to have 400,000 people. Their president does not have a security detail. She might have some people with her, but during Pride, this last visit, she just walked on by some people sitting on the blankets saying, "Hey, happy Pride." Like, there ain't no Secret Service, not like this.
No.
There's a famous picture of like,
Go ahead.
there's a famous picture of like the previous president like standing in line at McDonald's.
Well, Octu Talk to there.
Right.
Or was it when they had McDonald's there?
I don't know. Maybe he was somewhere else. I don't know. Like, he could have been somewhere in another country, but
Their last president was a man, and he dressed up in drag for the Pride last year. But this year, the Pride happened like what, right after their woman president just got
she took office, I think, like right before we went.
Nice. Yeah, if you ever have a chance to go to Iceland, it's stunning. It's beautiful. We've gone there twice. I would not pay thousands of dollars to go visit a place twice. What's funny is we've been there twice and we've never left the city of Reykjavik.
That's not true. We did leave. We just didn't stay overnight somewhere else.
We
did the South Coast.
The whole thing, though, I think we only did half of it. We only drove 2 hours out.
We did like 3/4 of the South Coast.
Okay, 3/4. So we did the southern coast, but we've been there twice. I've been there a grand total of 6 weeks of my life has been spent there. Yours is longer, like
I guess
10 or 11.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we went there.
You stayed there before I came to visit.
Yeah, we stayed there for, I guess, about a month, and then you came to visit.
On a whim with no money in my bank account, went into credit card debt for that first trip, but I had the best time of my whole fucking life. I actually think we were really good friends before I went, but I think that is what solidified like a family level of friendship.
And I think that something that's super important to remember on that is that, okay, we're not young and in our teens anymore. And you're just like, you can communicate so clearly, like, I'm gonna go take a walk by myself, you know? Like when you're crammed in a house with other people.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's some great honesty. And I always say, like, traveling with people, I think can be more intimate than living with people, for sure. Because it's like...
Yeah. Well, and I think it's like all three of us mutually respect each other to where I'm not afraid. No one in our throuple, it's not even a throuple, 3-person friendship, like, we're not afraid to ask uncomfortable questions if it's bothering someone. And like, I respect both of you so much that I wouldn't want to do anything that made y'all uncomfortable. This last trip, though, the gays got me sick. And so I will say that that's a hate crime. I'm just trying to be an ally. And I get violently ill halfway through Pride. And I was just like so lackluster, I feel like. I was just so exhausted halfway through that trip. But if you're going to be sick in a country, Iceland is not a bad one because we spent most of our time, in hot springs? Like we were floating and in the sauna.
Yeah, it is the self-care place. If you need a self-care getaway, that's the place to go. But the hot springs, like the Sky Lagoon, oh my God, for the 7-step ritual. Yes, please. Remember that Australian man you loved?
My God, guys. So I'll set the scene of what the Sky Lagoon looks like. Like, it is an infinity pool basically overlooking the ocean. And it is very cold, but the pool is very steamy and misty. And literally out of the smoke.
Got the picture up.
So this is the Sky Lagoon for anyone that knows. And you see how it's misty. And in the mist, and like, I'm going to admit it. I'm just going to say it. We're a little gardened at this moment. Like, my gummy is kicking in. I'm a little like, is this the perfect place to garden a little bit?
Yeah.
And we're overlooking the ocean. It's beautiful. Yeah, the sauna is stunning. It's very relaxing. And just shout out Australia, because I've slept with the men from your country. I've seen the women from your country. There's literally not an ugly person on that entire damn continent. But Sky Lagoon is beautiful. And this hot Australian man pops up out of nowhere. And he's there being a tour guide for a group of very lovely middle-aged women. And I said, this just makes me want to have sex with you even more. Like, what do you mean you're here on vacation with 15 middle-aged women?
I don't think middle-aged. I feel like they were like up there.
They were up there. I mean, dead ass, I think they had to have been over 65 years old. Not 65, even higher.
Yeah.
Like 75.
Like not middle-aged.
They were mature, beautiful women.
Yeah. Period.
The Sky Lagoon is beautiful. You go through a 7-step ritual. I just don't have active listening skills. And they hand you a body scrub. And you go to scrub it all over your body.
There's one instruction for it. Only one.
There is literally one instruction, and it's to not put it on your face.
Or your feet.
Or your feet. I heard put it on your face.
And your
and
feet.
so I'm over there in your feet. I had it all up and down my face. And I like, no, not your face. And I'm like, what? Not your face? As it's dripping down my face. And I look at the workers and they're just laughing hysterically as I have. It's just very salty and it's very coarse salt. Like nothing happens if you put it on your face. It's just very rough for the skin on your face. Yeah. And we did a cold plunge, honestly. And it was just very relaxing. Iceland is one of my favorite countries I've ever been to. I cannot rave about it enough. If the Iceland Tourism Board hears this and they want to work with us, I will gladly work with them. There's a penis museum there.
How many penises did you buy?
Okay, here's the thing. The first time we went, I got a little drunk. I hate to say it, but I think we all got a little drunk. I had several glasses of champagne, and I went away with $250 worth of penis memorabilia from the gift shop. And now I have been actually dead ass. Here is a picture from that trip. This is literally from the fucking museum.
It's the phallic museum, I think, is what they call it.
The phallic museum, yes.
They have every kind of penis on display. Like every animal.
Actually, I'll show one. Do you think I can show one?
Yeah. What are you going to show?
I think this one's going to be allowed. But why the fuck? This isn't even a dildo. This is a piece of art. This is not a dildo. It's not a sex toy. But like, look at the ridges. Look at this. Look at the head on that thing.
Fleshy realness, but in wood. Like, that's literally
if
hardwood.
you put that in you, that's like, I'm sorry. If I was going to sleep with a man and he plopped this out of his pants, he would pack up and leave immediately. Like, he is not invited to my playground. He's not invited, and I'm sorry. I have a small vagina, and there's only a select few of men.
Let's talk about your dating here. Tell me.
Let's talk about your vagina. Let's talk about my vagina. She hasn't been looked at, touched, or loved in literally 6 fucking months, and I'm about to go fucking feral. I'm about to make some very poor decisions, but not poor enough to where I sleep with a Republican.
Okay. No, I love that.
Okay.
Set your standards high, girl.
Set my standards high.
Who is the last person you... No, you don't have to talk about it.
It was...
Yeah.
The man that shall not be named.
Right. Wait.
That was the last... Not a bad breakup, just a very interesting... I guess I could talk about the breakup, I just won't mention his name.
Sorry, I didn't mean to play him.
Okay. Literally, he silences women.
Okay, tell him.
You want to know about the... He silences women. The queer boy that danced with Lady Gaga silences women. That's what happens. That can be a soundbite.
A soundbite?
Let me tell you. A soundbite? No, the last guy that entered my magical forest was a man I'd been seeing for 10 months. He even went so far as to go to Paris on a vacation by himself. And knowing I had mentioned one time on our first date that my favorite woman on the fucking planet is Julia Child. She is my icon, my liege, my lover. Like, she is who I want to be, is Julia Child. I mentioned this one time on a first date. He comes back from his trip to Paris with a gift to me from the store she shops at. I'm sorry, that is a very intimate gift. To be giving out something that I was very near and dear to my heart. You give this gift to me. And I remember even telling you this gift meant so much to me. Like, it was very nice. It felt like a next step in our relationship. And he had been talking about how he had some fears of intimacy, but he was working on it and he really liked me. And then bam, out of nowhere, he tells me he wants to be polyamorous, asked if that's something I'd be down with. And I said, no, I'm not down with that. I'm not okay with you sleeping with other women. And then I asked, do you also want to experiment with men, which is fine by me? And then he said no. And I said, I would have respected it more if you wanted to sleep with men or they, thems. Genuinely, I would have. But it's just like, you just want to fuck around with other women. Like, that's really all it is you just want to fuck around with other women and you have a fear of intimacy, but you're giving me the excuse that you want to be polyamorous. Like, because you told me you'd be jealous if I slept with someone else.
Now that we're talking about your dating life, We're going to have to revisit one of the 2 truths and a lie that you mentioned, that your vagina turned a man gay. Can you tell us that story? Because I'll ruin it for
Yes.
everyone. That's truth. It's truth.
Okay, yes. Perfect. So I guess we should backtrack. And this story also does involve a very hot Australian man. He's at the center of this story as well. So not that many people know this about me, but I lived overseas for 2 years. I taught English, and one of the countries I lived in was South Korea. I lived in Seoul, South Korea for about a year of my life. And in that time, I was a whore. I was a harlot. I had a scarlet letter on my chest. And I was having a good time because there were very attractive men that, like, Korean men are beautiful. Like, all the people visiting were beautiful. And if you don't know this, there is a holiday in Korea called Chuseok. It is the biggest holiday in the country. It is Korean Thanksgiving. It is huge. You get a week off from work. And a lot of times, gyopos, or people who are Korean but grew up outside of Korea, so like in America, it'd be a Korean American, they come back and they visit their family that lives in Korea. And when I was there, I met this very attractive Australian man. And I messaged him being like, do you want to have some adult fun? Because I was a girl, sowing my wild oats. I was never going to see him again. I said, I would like to cross off a very fine man from down under. So we go home. We go on a date, actually. We end up spending like 8 hours at a bar, having the best date of my whole life. We go home. We shebangy. Good ass shebanging. And then we continue to talk for several weeks. And I even go out to Australia to visit him. Newsflash, that did not end well. That's a story for another time. But during our time talking after Chuseok and before I went to Australia, we had a little scuffle, a little tiff. And so my friends obviously are like, the best way to get over someone is to get under someone. So we go out to a bar in Itaewon. Itaewon is the foreign area in South Korea. And we run into a group of 3 army men from the U.S. Army, because the only 2 foreigners from America in South Korea are people in the military and teachers, and then random people that work for oil and gas. But anyways, I digress. We go out and I see this very tall, very attractive, very beautiful man with beautiful teeth. And we end up kissing at the bar because all the people there are like, y'all should kiss, y'all should kiss. So we kiss and then we go home together. Like literally, I'm not even kidding, maybe 30 minutes into the meeting him, I take him to my house. We go home, we're macking out. He goes down, he goes down south. He comes up, but he's not at full attention, and I'm like, this is not a normal response from a man that has gone down under. Most of them come up very excited to continue, if you catch my drift. And I said, is everything okay? And he goes, I think I'm gay. I think I'm gay. And I said, you think you're gay? With no judgment in my voice, because I'm a bitch who loves the gays. And I said, let's test this. I take him by the shoulders. I put him on my bed. And I said, let's test this. I put my shirt on. I take my shirt off. And I said, what do you think when you look at my naked body? And he says, I can appreciate it. And I said, shut the fuck up. You're gay. Like, you're gay. And then he says, I am gay. And I don't know if you know this, but the U.S. military is not the best place to come out as a gay man.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? And anyways, turns out he shows me his grinder. We have the same type. And I don't ever want to dissect that more than just that phrase, because if I do, it's going to be a little dark. Anyways, the night ends with us watching Will and Grace eating wontons and me teaching him a 10-step skincare routine. So when I say it was the best hookup of my whole life, I wholeheartedly believe that. Stop it. You fucking son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Okay. Well, I forgot I've had 3 glasses of red wine. I'm forgetting what comes after that sentence. Motherfucker.
Okay. You need to not do that with your microphone.
You need to not eat Dot's pretzels up in your microphone. We're going to talk about microphone etiquette right now. You're over here like...
They're giving the people what they want.